In today's video, I want to go over my April TBR list. So hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy and I'm a goth girl from Belgium who loves to read fantasy books. Now April is a special month for me because April is my birthday month, and because it is my birthday month I want to spoil myself by reading vampire books. During the month of March I struggled a little bit by reading a lot because I stopped my job, I was sick a bunch and it was just not the best time for me. So during April I just really want to read what I feel like reading, and that is a lot of the times vampire-based books. So I'm going to quickly go over the books that I have prepared that will be my physical TBR pile, because somehow having them in my sight actually helps me reading them. So now without further ado, let's go over these books. The first one is called Anno Dracula. It is by Kim Newman. It is 1888 and Queen Victoria has remarried, taking as her new consort the Wallachian prince infamously known as Count Dracula. His polluted bloodline spreads through London as its citizens increasingly choose to become vampires. In the grim back streets of Whitechapel, a killer known as Silver Knife is cutting down vampire girls. The eternally young vampire Genevieve Dieudonné and Charles Beauregard of the Diogenes Club are drawn together as they both hunt a sadistic killer, bringing them ever closer to England's most bloodthirsty ruler yet. So in this book, Dracula is actually being married to the Queen of England, basically. I'm very curious to see what take this will have on Dracula. And I know I've had this book for quite a long time already, so I just really want to read it. The next book on my TBR is The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahure. And I actually own two editions. This one is the Fairy Loot one, but up there on my shelf I also have the Waterstones edition. So let's quickly read the intro. 6 months have passed since Célie took her sacred vows and joined the ranks of the Chasseurs as their first huntswoman. With her fiancé Jean-Luc as captain, she is determined to find her foothold in her new role and protect Belterra after she failed to protect her sister. But whispers from the past still haunt her, and a new evil is rising, leaving bodies in its wake, each one decorated with twin puncture wounds in its throat. Despite how her friends and fiancé have tried to shield Célie from the darkness, their magic, swords, and even the light of the endless candles they provide, cannot keep her safe from a monster that hides behind beautiful words and sharp smiles. Now Célie has new reason to fear the dark because something is coming for her. And the closer he gets, the more tempted Célie feels to give into his dark hungers and her own. So this is quite the chunk of a book. We'll see if I get to it or not, but I really want to very soon read this. After that we have Masters of That by Olivia Blake, and fun fact, I own multiple Olivia Blake books and simply have not gotten around to reading a single one of them yet. And this is the Illumicrate exclusive edition, so it has foils and then this beautiful cover and then bats, and I'm not gonna lie, this is partially the reason that I actually purchased this book. And let's read what this book is about. Viola Marek is a struggling estate agent and a vampire. But her biggest problem is that the house she's selling is haunted. The ghost haunting this mansion has been murdered, and until he can solve the mystery of how he died, he refuses to move on. Needless to say, this is not good for business. Fox de Mora is a medium. He's also most definitely a shameless fraud. He isn't entirely without his uses, however, he's also the godson of death. When Viola seeks out Fox to help with her ghost infestation, Fox becomes inextricably involved in a quest that neither he nor Vi expects or wants. Luckily, they can enlist an eclectic crew of supernatural creatures, including an unruly poltergeist, a demonic personal trainer, a sharp-voiced angel, and a love-stricken reaper. Soon, Vi and Fox discover that the difference between a mysterious lost love and an annoying dead body isn't nearly as distinct as they thought. This seems fun, to be honest. Maybe I should move this to one of the first books that I read, because I feel like I will like this. After that, we have one of my recent purchases. This is A Tempest of Tea. I actually didn't plan on buying this book, but I saw so many good things about it and that it was with vampires, and then I just had to have it. Artie Casimir is a criminal mastermind and a collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal bloodhouse by night, catering to the vampires feared by society. But when the tea room and its secrets come under threat, Artie must lead a gang of outcasts in a high-stakes heist to the sinister vampire underworld. But even as unexpected romances blossom, Artie realizes that not everyone in her ragtag crew is on her side, and she soon finds herself in the midst of a conspiracy that will threaten the world as she knows it. Dark, action-packed and swoon-worthy, A Tempest of Tea is teeming with romance and revenge, led by an orphan girl willing to do whatever it takes to save her self-made kingdom. The only thing that I don't really like about it is that, yet again, we have an orphan girl, but other than that, it seems fun. And it's also not super thick of a book, so I'm very curious to how it will be. And then finally, a book that I would have read in March if I had the time is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. If you've been around on my channel and you've seen previous videos about vampire books, you know that I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. And this is actually the naked hardcover, but if you order it online, you will most likely find it with this cover. Fierce heroines, inhuman heroes, love that can turn the tides of fate. Mortal Enemies to Monster Lovers is a series of standalone fantasy romance novels by 6 fantasy romance authors designed to be read in any order. Together they feature steamy enemies to lovers romance with non-human love interests and a complete HEA for each story. No clue what that means. With vampires, shifters, frost kings, naga and shadow raids, as well as morally grey leads, forced proximity, epic quests and more, these scorching romances are bound to keep you turning pages late into the night. And there is 5 apparently. So we have Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which I have, Slaying the Shifter Prince, Slaying the Frost King, Slaying the Naga King, and Slaying the Shadow Prince. And depending if I like this book, I might actually reach out and get the other ones. So, she was commanded to kill him with a single strike to the heart. She didn't expect her own to betray her. Selena has sacrificed everything for her goddess. Her soul, her freedom, her eyes. Life in service to the Arachesen, a cult of the goddess of fate, has stirred Selena from orphaned street rat to disciplined killer, determined to overthrow Glea's tyrannical king. But when a brutal vampire conqueror arrives on their shores, Selena faces an even deadlier adversary. She's tasked with a crucial mission: infiltrate his army, earn his trust, and kill him. Atreus is a terrifying warrior carving an unstoppable path through Gley. Yet when Selena becomes his seer, she glimpses a dark and shocking past, and a side of him that reminds her far too much of parts of herself she'd rather forget. Selena's orders are clear: the conqueror cannot live, but as the blood spilled by Gley's tyrant king runs thicker, her connection with Atreus only grows stronger. A connection forbidden by her vows, a connection that could cost her everything. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun book to read. We'll see how I like it and maybe if I pick up any others in this series. But since it has vampires in it, I thought I would really enjoy it. So these are the books that I hope to read during the month of April. As it is my birthday month, I thought I would just indulge in reading more vampire books before continuing on to other fantasy books, and I'm actually super excited about it. If there's any other vampire books that you think I would enjoy based upon the books mentioned in this video, of course feel free to let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for more vampire themed books to add to my collection and of course to read and then to make videos about and then to share my love for my favorite vampire books with you. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!